Well, hey there. Welcome back to Movie Review Mom. If you are new to my channel, yay, I'm so glad you found me. So my goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision for you and your family as to whether or not you want to spend time or money or both watching a specific film. So the specific film I'm reviewing today is called Armageddon Time. This dramatic movie is now available to stream online. It's rated R and is an hour and 54 minutes. And my movie review mom grade is a B+. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell. I'll point out the things that I really liked about the movie, as well as some of the things I didn't like, and offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, recommendations for other films, and interesting lines and funny lines if they are noteworthy, and I wrote them down. All right, so let's dive in. In a nutshell, the movie is a deeply personal coming-of-age story about the strength of family and the generational pursuit of the American dream. The film was written and directed by James Gray. That always impresses me when one person can write and direct something, especially if the movie is really great. One of the shenanigans that the two boys come up with in the story actually came from something that the director and his childhood friend did when they were younger. This is the director's very first digitally shot movie, receiving a 7-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival in 2022. So, wow. So let me give you the list of things that I really liked about the movie. First of all, the fantastic cast includes Academy Award winners Sir Anthony Hopkins, Anne Hathaway, and Jessica Chastain. So that tells you the quality of the movie just from that alone. We also get to see 4-time Tony Award nominee Tove Feldtje. For me, the standout performance was actually Anne Hathaway. Her character was complex, and I thought that she portrayed it all with a New York accent and conflicted flair. The young actor who plays Paul Graff, Banks Repetta, does a really great job. Jalen Webb also gives a good performance as Paul's best friend. And for two young actors, I thought that they really helped carry the movie. The movie gets its title from the song by The Clash. There's a scene where we see President Ronald Reagan talking about the end of the world. And that's another reason why the movie got its title, Armageddon, right? Or about Armageddon. Now, this is not like an action movie that shows the end of the world at all, but it cleverly shows the end of an era. We get to visit the Guggenheim Museum in the movie, as well as see other New York City sites. Now, it's impossible to say anything negative about a movie that features Sir Anthony Hopkins. He is just fantastic as always. Unfortunately, he's not in the movie as much as most of us would probably like. Ultimately, the film offers an excellent illustration of several issues in society. So there were some things I didn't like or just thought could have been handled better. For example, the protagonist is kind of a bratty kid, making it really difficult to root for him. He creates his own problems. Now, as a mother, I have sympathy for him, but I also feel like, come on, snap out of it, because he's just doing all these really dumb things that are causing problems for him and his family. But such is the life of a young boy, right? The movie is definitely a slow burn that just sort of meanders around. The movie kind of ends abruptly, which was surprising, and kind of in an ambiguous way as well. All right, so let me give you some tips for parents. This really is not a kids' movie. I think they're going to be completely bored. There's also talk of war in Europe. Two boys in the middle school are just disrespectful and get into trouble, so they're bad role models for your kids. But there's also profanity, including F-bombs, mostly spoken by these two kids. And I hate that. Racism is portrayed. And in fact, the N-word is even used once. Kids smoke a joint. Parents fight a lot. A boy hears his parents talk about how he has no potential and is slow, which is a terrible thing to tell your kids. And a family member dies, and we see people at the funeral. So some of the themes that are illustrated very well in the story and the telling are family, growing up, respect, reflecting on the past, privilege and class, friendship, the immigration experience, the Jewish experience, and the importance of education. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines to give you a taste for the movie and the dialogue, basically. But I didn't write down anything funny. This is not a big comedy. This is a serious drama, although there are some moments that you might say are humorous, but maybe not laugh out loud humorous. But I'll share a couple of interesting lines that I share on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So Banks, or Paul Graff, is played by Banks Repetta, and he says, "You just want me to be like you." He's talking to his dad, and his dad says, "No, no, big boy, I want you to be a whole lot better than me." And the dad is played by Jeremy Strong, and I 100% agreed with that. I don't want my kids to be as good as me, but way better. They can do way better than what I've done. Anyway, I thought that was a good line. And then another line spoken by Jeremy Strong is when he says, "You got to be thankful when you're given a leg up." And so this movie has a lot to do with having advantages, and what are you doing with the advantages to make your life better, but also to make the lives of other people around you better. And I really liked that element of the story. So before we go, let me give you 3 recommendations for movies that I instantly thought of as I was watching this one. The first one is Stand By Me. It's just a classic coming of age movie for a young boy. Another one is called The Way, Way Back, and it has an interplay between the child growing up and very complicated family relationships and dysfunctional family, that kind of stuff. And then another one is called House of D. These are all really good character studies and just sort of a reflection of life and family and all of that. And I enjoyed all of those. All right. So hopefully if you watch this movie, you do enjoy it. Now that you understand the content, let me know if that's helpful for you in deciding whether or not you want to spend time or money watching movies or specific movies. Thank you so much. I appreciate it when you subscribe and like my videos, and be sure and reach out to me on Patreon if you've got any questions or want to see some of the prizes there. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.